and if you want to turn on the light, you can, but I don't think we need. Thank you. As far as I understood, Dawn wanted to say something about the kitchen, but she's not here, so maybe they're still trying to sort things out. The manager is not very happy about us, so I don't know why. She will tell you. So this is why I think if you want to eat, bring your own food, eat it in your room, then we don't upset anybody on the day of Yom Kippur. And all other days they feed us nicely. So I don't know what happened, but she will tell us. Don't. Shouldn't have told you, but anyway, I did. So she will probably come. So this is why before the meditation I'll answer the questions or the comments, and then she can say what she has to say. And concerning that, also those people who don't know me, we usually leave this place with a lot of respect for the people who clean your room. That means, in clear terms, you take off your sheets, you don't just throw them on the floor, you put them in a heap with the with the towel on top, and you take out the garbage. There's enough garbage bins. Leave the room as you would like to find it if you would have to clean it. Because most of the people working here are volunteers from Germany and Holland, students. So imagine one of your children going as a volunteer to a hotel, and then how would you like them to find the room? So the Dharma people who come very often, they got used to that. It's a very nice feeling of going, leaving the room more or less clean, in order, not throwing everything around. And that would be the respect for the working class people. Because if you don't think you're working class, it is thanks to the working class that you are not working class. So there you go. I always think the working class people are more important than the others because they provide us with food and clean sheets and all these kind of things. So tell me, Dawn, is she coming and saying something or no? Okay. So just know that, I don't know what happened, but for those who eat, be careful that you clean up properly and this and that. And again, we are guests here, even if you pay. Also, this is that thing, I'm guest, I pay, I'm the king. You're not paying anyway, Hopefully you will pay before you leave for home, but the Dharma friends leave you the decision how much you want to give. It's a very expensive place. So that's why it's, food is totally over the top, but there's nothing we can do to change it, but so, be aware of that. Somebody has to pay for it, so. But still, just because you're paying doesn't mean you leave the room, for, others can clean. Well, make it easy for them, because you might end up as a cleaning woman in your next life. Also, if you do have a cleaning woman, try to be respectful and understand what your life would be without them. We forget. Yeah. So, this is a very easy question. What is the Lamrim in my eyes? How do you recommend? How do you recommend studying it? Well, in a group, it's the text by Lama Tsongkhapa and many other texts also that are a bit similar. It's a build-up. It's a structured step by step how you develop your mind. The Dalai Lama this morning said, before you study Lamrim, it's good to study the text valid cognition, because then you will have trust that it is so. So usually we say it's a text for beginners. It's not a text for beginners. It's a text. It's a practice manual. It's a manual with its stick that tells you how to think, so that you progress on this path to enlightenment. It's called Lamrim, the graduated path. In the Jewish prayer before bed, there is a part on forgiving and a nice phrase, may no one be punished with me being the reason this helps me to forgive. That's very nice also. It's like, that's in when you believe in a God, you don't have to punish these people, He will take care of them. Why you? Yeah. Also, you don't have to kill anybody because they will die anyway. That's Shantideva's reasoning. Very, very logic, very pragmatic, very down to earth. Everybody will die. And in Buddhism, we think karma will take care of them. In Judaism, Christianity, God or Jesus will take care of them. It's none of your affair. But you don't have to stay in their presence if they're harmful. If you can go away, by all means go away. That's totally okay. If mixing conventional reality and ultimate, well, you don't mix them, you use both. You can't mix them because they are two different things. Yeah? Conventional reality is not ultimate reality is not conventional. But in one object you have both, but they're not the same thing. Don't make that mistake. To the person who I wish to forgive. If you think that, well, if you use both, the person doesn't exist from their own side, because they're empty of inherent existence, but they still exist as a dependent arising, so therefore I will apply compassion and I will forgive them. Yes, of course. Thinking about how our mind projects situations, that it's not exactly the way that you see it, that very much helps. Yeah, to forgive. And especially the view about impermanence. It's finished. It's past. You can learn from that to protect yourself before you go into such a situation. But this one, whatever people do to me, may they not suffer from that. This is very noble. Wow, this is wonderful. To have this thought. You don't need to be Jewish to have this thought. Because we provoke them to do negative actions. Oh, that's a heavy one. It's our karma to having to experience that, so we provoke them. That's very high thinking, so don't go there. If you hear it for the first time, remain, it's their fault, I'm the victim, that's fine. But with time, you start to understand. It is helpful to my hurt and their suffering. I think of the 8 verses of mind training. Yeah, this is where it says, the one who hurts you is your best teacher. But don't forget, that's verse number 6 or 7. Yeah, you have other verses before. We always forget, we always go to the highest. But the Lamrim is first we start to think about precious situation that I have. I can work with my mind. It will not last, or impermanence and death. What will determine where I will be reborn? Karma, and then the suffering, the general suffering in samsara. These are the 4 preparatory meditations that you should do before you practice. And then I want to get out of samsara. That's the Buddhist way. I'm afraid I cannot give that in one day. It's like this is a long process of learning, kind of first hearing, thinking about it, understanding this is something for me. I really want to do this. Yes or no. If it's no, then don't even try. It's a waste of time. and then thinking about it, yes, this is what I want, keep thinking, reflecting on it, and then saying, that's my way, and then you probably join a group and you study with them, either here or abroad, or go to a monastery, learn Tibetan, go to Sera or whatever, like Yaki, Punsok, Depends what you want. So the 8 verses are kind of, skiing. When you ski, there's colors in the slopes. So the 8 verses is the black slope. If you go there without knowing anything, you will break your neck. And if you don't break your neck, there will definitely be no pleasure, just fear and anxiety. If you start with the green one, then you go to the blue one, then you go to the red one, then you go to the black one, then it's fun. Then it's fun to go against your ego, and not give in every time you want something. To start to practice discipline, even though it's difficult, and to see it as a challenge instead of seeing it as a problem. But you need to have the tools, and I tell you the best tool is what we did this morning, to be able to understand that our mind is spacious. That nothing is as solid as we think. Yeah? And there was somebody who said, which I found very, very nice here. It is not a question, but what came up for me in the process of forgiving is, how dare I, thinking that I am so important, that I was so important. When I is not important anymore, forgiveness is totally normal. Wow! What an insight. It's true. This is why in the Tibetan text you don't find anything about forgiving, because they know about karma, they know that there is no I that is being hurt, they know about the karma of the other who will have to endure it in the future. So instead of kind of being angry, they have natural compassion for the other person, but out of compassion, protect themselves. And that again can become total excuse, Oh, I killed the other person so that they're protected from creating the negative karma of hurting me. That's again about me. So, this is what I'm saying, you create your own happiness and unhappiness. This is the way you think. It's in your hands. It's in your hands. But you need tools to be able to think skillfully. For some it works immediately, for some not immediately. If someone wronged us without asking for forgiveness or acknowledging or correcting his ways, shouldn't we be speaking about compassion and then letting go rather than forgiveness? Well, that's just rather than forgiveness. That's just what I said. That would be an appropriate way. But again, compassion can be so condescending. Don't go to somebody who's harmed you, you poor thing. Oh, I feel so compassionate for you, because you will experience so much suffering in the future because you have harmed me. We can turn everything into poison. The most beautiful things, if it is pervaded by ego-centeredness, me first, my interest first, it becomes poison. The most beautiful things. After asking for apology from my father many, many times, I had a very special moment with him just before he died. A couple of hours before losing consciousness, my brother encouraged him to say something. He said, I am sorry if I hurt you. It was very general, but it touched me deeply. I wanted to know what you think about it. You can see I'm losing my voice, so you can see what I think about this. It's very moving. But don't wait until the last moment, please. Yeah. And be touched when somebody comes and says, I'm sorry if I hurt you, even if it's just general. Let your heart be touched by that and open up. And as I said, please, does everybody hear that? If somebody is a notorious raper, hitter, physical abuse, mental abuse with words, go away from that person if you can. For his sake, her sake, can also be women. Do you hear what I am saying? But try to keep your heart open, because it could be you. We're very lucky that we don't have these instincts. these tendencies, these confused views. Do you think those people are happy when they're harming others? Honestly? Yeah? What? Yes, no? Do they appear happy to you? Violent, aggressive people? Yeah? As Shantideva says, why be angry at them? They're punished enough by their own anger. It's very childish to be angry at somebody who is aggressive. But protect yourself, protect others if you can. Try to protect the person. This is why we have to become Buddhas, so we can inspire them to stop harming others. That's the only way we can do it. For that we need to be inspiring, not aggressive. Or aggressive in an inspiring way. Can also be. So again, it's not, Buddhism, peaceful, peaceful, peaceful. No. As a mother, as a father, you have to use aggression sometimes. And raise your voice. And maybe even hit the table and go, that's enough. That's out of compassion for the children. Most of the time. Because you want to protect them, because you see they're doing something that will be harmful. So it's possible. It's possible to be wrathful, but not angry. Angry is a wish to harm. And you're the only one who can find out when it's this and when it's that. What should I do when holding someone who loves me in debt to me for something they did? Emotional debts make me miserable, but I simply can't get myself to get over it because it gives me power and even twisted kind of pleasure. Then see yourself as the abuser and the aggressor. That's what you can do. That's a good step. This is a very good step, because the act that might have come might have been, maybe repeated, but spontaneous, because they are not in control. But our act of not forgiving is planned, is not spontaneous. So you're the abuser. I hope I understood right, that this person wants to give up holding power, to hold power over the other person, and even a twisted kind of pleasure. That's what we get when we don't forgive, is it? We see there's still aversion for the other person. We see the person has some problems. If we're honest, it gives us a short moment of twisted, perverse happiness. Is that true? Yeah. That's how we are. And we're the victim. Oh, poor me. And he's the aggressor. There is no real aggressor, there's no real victim. We're all caught in this crazy game of hitting and giving back. So crazy. But it comes of ignorance, comes of confusion. It doesn't come because it's planned. Everybody wants to be friendly and happy. If I hurt somebody and I want to apologize, if the other person doesn't accept it, will I still feel the pain? Well, this is another thing, when we have hurt somebody, we feel bad because we have hurt them. It's the ego. It's, I'm such a nice person. How can they feel hurt? Anyway, we'll meditate on it just now. And so, why we want others to forgive us? Because we don't want to feel the pain anymore. We want them to say, yeah, it's okay, don't worry, I feel okay. As the good Buddhist, you would even say, oh, I'm so happy you hurt me because then I learned something, you exhausted my negative karma, blah, 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 and all this. That's what we would like to hear from others that we hurt, isn't it? Because we feel bad. But again, it's the ego there who wants to be forgiven. Also, if somebody is angry at you and you want them to help to let go and feel good, leave them alone. You're not the right person if they're angry at you to go and help them to forgive. Yeah, but you want them to forgive because you want to feel good. This happens sometimes in divorces. When somebody is going, finds new partner, of course happy. Yeah, a lot of happiness with the new partner, but feels bad about the old partner at home. So then they want to go back home to feel the old partner okay, so that they can enjoy their happiness with the new partner. So about me, that game, you know. If your old partner doesn't want to see you anymore, leave them alone. But I love them so much. But I love me so much. I feel pain. I want them to forgive me. I want them to feel well. We want them to see happy, preferably with another partner. That would be the best. So that we don't have to feel guilty. If you hurt somebody, this negative feeling is a consequence. It's like putting a seed, a negative seed. You feel bad. It's like law of cause and effect. It's how it is. And you have to amend. You have to do something. If the other one allows you to do something, sometimes they don't. Because why? They don't want to give up their power to make you feel bad. You know, I'm not a psychologist, but I see that this is really happening. This is what we do to each other. And all based on I, me, ego. Okay. So try to sit comfortably with the straight back. If we only go for lunch, eat for those who go for lunch at 12 o'clock, is it okay? Or is it a problem? Itzig. Huh?
What are you supposed to finish?
No, it's when is it okay that we finish? Is it important?
Quarter to 12, we have to go to the kitchen. Oh. And the lunch is 12:15.
Okay. Okay, how many people do you need to come to the kitchen?
Who is the Tomanim?
Also, it needs to be people who have nothing to forgive. Because the others have to stay here for the meditation.
You need, I don't know, what is it?
I think Dani is okay. Dani knows how to do this. David, not sure. Do you know how to forgive? Can you go to the kitchen? Okay.
We need 4 weekends.
Okay, so we have Dani, Shaked also very good. He also knows he has. Okay.
We have the names. Okay.
Okay, great. So the others sit or also those who are still here, and then the others will leave quietly, you know? Whenever you're ready to need to go. I will tell you when it's 1:45. So relax. Create some space, okay? You're still good people. You're still good. I'm still a good person. You have to think for you. Even if now all the games that we play is coming up. It's good. We look at it because we want to deal with it. That's why we look at it, not to make you feel bad. It's just another ego game and play. Oh, I'm such a bad person. No, you're a good person because you're trying to do something about it. And you have the potential to be good, believe it or not. Everybody, absolutely everybody. Isn't that wonderful? So for the moment, we only have to take care of our own garbage, not of the garbage of others. And as we did this morning, I will leave you for 5 minutes. Try to create some space, that you feel the space, either with thinking about Elliot or another baby. Or think about a good action that you did, that also creates space. What you can also do, if you have a spiritual path, you think about from whom this spiritual path comes. If you're a Buddhist, you think about the Buddha, because the Buddhas are always here, and we forget. And the Buddhas, before they were Buddhas, they were Bodhisattvas, and they made promises to be there for all sentient beings. So that includes me, everybody. But you don't have to give that, a form or a name. Just try to connect with some benevolent energy in the world. Love in general, kindness in general, friendliness in general. Of course, what helps me, I think about my gurus, my teachers. person standing behind me and putting his hands on my shoulders. So if you think about, these spiritual methods, even if they come from God, that we don't know what God is, or at least I don't know, it's been handed down through other beings who practice it, who teach us, who give us these methods. So for me, the Buddha, the Guru works best, the Dalai Lama. For you, find out. Allow that being, that energy to be present. Create the space before we have to look at our garbage. And fill the space with the thought, I am a good person. And I want everybody to benefit from that inner goodness that I have. Then make a promise to yourself to be gentle, not to push and not to accept anything or to do anything that you think you're not ready to accept or do. So become responsible for yourself. And reflect on the motivation, the purpose, why you are here, why you're listening about forgiving. And as we said before, please don't take the biggest occasion where it is really difficult to forgive. To forgive yourself for having done the action, or to forgive others. So imagine somebody that you have harmed and now ignores or quite actively keeps away from you. You feel that energy, they don't really listen to you, they keep away from you. Or you might think that you haven't done anything, but you feel it, so there must be something there. That they don't want to have anything to do with you anymore. It's good if it's somebody that you were befriended before. So how do you feel? Now we go into this. Feel it so it can heal it. Don't go into guilt, it's just an utter ego play. Remain in the space. We're just looking, we're studying. We're looking at it from the distance. But try to feel that deep wish to be forgiven, that everything can go back to normal, how it was before. If you want.